Automotion, we do offer quite an extensive range of captive screws. You can see a few of the examples that we'll have here. These are in A2 stainless steel, but we also offer options in A4 stainless. We can have these black oxide coated as well. We dabble a little bit in the titanium grades 2 and grade 5s as well. We make these completely in-house here on our premises here in Chichester in West Sussex. So you'll find that we'll quite happily produce some bespoke items if you can't find quite the right sizing or the styles that you're looking for. We've got a few options here which include the countersunk heads with the hex drives. We've got a couple of thumb screw options with knurled heads. In case you wanted something without the tooling, you can operate these just straight by hand. And we have some small button heads in a Torx drive as well. That being said, there's quite the selection straight from our website. It's worth having a look and seeing what options suit you. So unlike the standard machine screws where you'd expect them to be fully threaded up to the head, you'll find that our captive screws have that reduced diameter up to the head instead, and this keeps them retained into the panels. You see our demonstration panel here where we've got some standard machine screws. They're very easily removed, but it also means they're very easily lost, misplaced, or if they're put back in the incorrect locations. If we've got a few here, these are the same length. However, if you had a couple of locations where we had some longer threads in here, it could be possible to mix them up into the panels, leading to problems. If they're removable, it's also possible that you remove this panel and you lose one of these screws down into the machine. Not something you want to get involved with. So the captive screws that we have here, when they're removed from the panel, they actually stay into the panel themselves. They're not lost. We can put that panel down quite happily. We're not expecting to lose them. They stay in location and you won't lose the screws. The main reason for this is obviously the reduced diameter that we talked about earlier, but at the same point, rather than just having a through hole in these corners, in this case, we've also threaded the panel as well. So those screws, they're not going anywhere. If you did have the standard through holes like we've done in these top corners where those machine screws were, it's not a problem. What we can do is take a standard captive screw, which, because it's not threaded, will just fall straight in. We can take one of our standard P0169 threaded washers. We can add the washer all the way up to the reduced shank there, and you can retrofit with a new captive screw without the need of modifying the panel, and that can just go straight back into location, knowing that those screws are now held captive straight into the panel. Now with those panels, if you have concerns over the thickness of the panel or how strong this panel is likely to be, and you're having issues with retrofitting these, we do offer a range of retaining flange bushes that mount directly into the panel itself. So you don't have to worry about trying to thread this. If it's a very, very thin panel and you have concerns, we offer a range there as well. If you have a look on our data sheets, we'll offer aluminium and stainless options there as well. So obviously it's very important with any screws, naturally, to have the right thread diameter. But when you're looking at these, it's also worth looking at the length of the threads on these. The captive screws need a certain amount of thread length so that when you wind out of the workpiece, like this piece here, you've actually got enough space for it to disengage from the workpiece but still be retained into the panel. Normally this would be taken by a counter bore. You'll see further details in our data sheets there as well. But if there's any other questions, by all means get in touch with us or see our data sheets on the website.